Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Blew my Insta.
Just go. I didn't have it. You guys set it real quick. Just hit record. I'll line it up. It's fine. Just start recording. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just hit record. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Just hit record.
Okay.
I'll line it up.
You're making it way harder on yourself than you need to.
I hope you can hear him in the background of your recording so that you catch all that. Like him off in the distance, like, no way, guys. Like he's running behind the car.
Like the fat kid.
Yeah. Do the truffle shuffle.
Why's it gotta be about girth?
Sorry.
Nothing. Yeah, you're the only one. Oh, I don't know. Shannon's probably running. Are you still running, Shannon?
Kind of.
I haven't started back up again.
I want
Ran
to.
a 5K today.
Did you? Good.
Yeah. It's my 8th week in a row of running at least a 5K a week.
That's awesome.
My back keeps giving me problems, so, like, the last time I ran, I did really good, but then my back hurt for, like, 4 days afterwards.
It's that trick back of yours.
I never had a trick back before. I'm just convinced it'll just
You
be
need,
fine
like,
one day.
pills to keep in your pocket, so when you have the trick back go out, you can tell people to put one on your tongue.
I don't think
Is that a thing?
No.
What, pills?
Yeah.
I think that's if you're having, like, a heart attack. That's what you're thinking of.
No, I think I've seen, like, I had a trick back, get a pill out, and put it...
But make sure, like, it's a huge bag of pills.
Yeah. It's, like, ridiculous.
One of those gallon bags.
But it all has to be, like, random pills.
Yeah, there's, like, there's not any duplicates. They're all different.
Clearly they're not the same medication.
Like that guy from, the guy from Bachelor Party.
Oh, yeah.
It's deep cut, but...
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, they tried
Remember when those prostitutes came in? And the one had a dildo that she had to plug in?
Oh, God.
She was so happy. She really liked her work.
Uh-huh.
She was. If you go watch it again, she really revved her ass at one point.
Just remember, I vividly remember that scene with the same dude with the pills that kept on trying to kill himself, and his face, like, forever is etched into my mind is when he was trying to cut his wrists with the electric razor.
Yeah, they're so smooth and kissable.
Yeah, but just the way, like, when he was, like, really pushing down on it, and just, like, his, like, manic eyes that he had when he was trying to kill himself.
He just starts laughing.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It's a classic.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Tom Hanks is a national treasure because of that movie.
Is that the one? I thought it was Money Pit.
That's the one that did it.
Money Pit's pretty good, but I think Bachelor Party's pretty good.
And Dragnet.
I think Bachelor Party and Money Pit are better than Dragnet.
Yeah, Dragnet's pretty good.
Dragnet's pretty good, but I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah. What I liked about...
He had the best name ever in Dragnet. Is Pep Strebeck.
Yeah.
The best character names ever.
There's the part in Money Pit. I remember when I saw that when I was a kid. I didn't get most of the movie because I was not adult enough to know the trials and tribulations of home ownership to really make that stuff sink in. But the part I saw when I was a kid and it put me to tears was when he got trapped in the floor.
Yeah.
And just his laugh. Oh, God.
Yeah, he started to go nuts. I think I thought I saw the Care Bears here. Or he's like wasn't he like making paper airplanes or something?
Yeah, like because he had his hands like up at his head.
Yeah, he was just singing like Brad, bad, Bo bad.
That donkey laugh, that was great.
You kids listen don't know what we're talking about.
Nah.
This is the movies that mommies and daddies watched.
See, there's an actor. His name's Tom Hanks.
And Shelley Long.
Oh,
not someone who's typically synonymous with comedy.
Shit,
but
not
she's
aged
in a
well.
lot of comedies.
Was it what was the one? Was it Troop Beverly Hills? Was that her?
I never saw that.
I would have no idea.
Okay.
You might have loved it, but I never saw it.
Yeah, way to try to call us out, but it's not going to work.
Looking it up. Yep, that was Shelley Long. Troop.
Too fucking smart for that game.
He was in, or she was in Cheers. I remember that.
Yes, but I'm trying to think. Was Money Pit before or after her departure from Cheers?
I don't know. It was in '86, so
It's a close call.
I'm totally pulling that out of my head. I think that movie was '86, but
Shelley Long Cheers. She left after 87.
okay. So that Money Pit, she was like, I got all this Money Pit money and fame coming. Get my ass out of here and get into some movies.
Mm-hmm.
She was waiting for Money Pit 2 and 3 to start rolling in.
The trilogy that never was to be.
The trilogy that everyone wanted.
What would the sequels been called?
That house had a lot more damage to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The Shirk brothers could have done some more damage. Remember how long it was going to take them to do everything?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Money Pit 2, The Search for More Money.
Mel Brooks wants to do a Spaceball sequel.
I
so
hope I'm like similar to the Ghostbusters thing. I'm very cross about like I don't know whether I want that so bad because
that's not going to happen.
Which one? Spaceballs?
Spaceballs? No.
Well, fucking, I never would have thought an all-female Ghostbusters or even a Ghostbusters sequel was ever going to happen.
Okay, how old is Mel Brooks? Like, he's doing really well,
He's really old, but he doesn't
Yeah.
have to be the guy in the movie.
He says he wants to make it.
Well, that's fine.
But we all remember Mel Brooks movies, right? I don't think a lot of that comedy can fly
No,
today.
he just said recently that there is absolutely no way you can make Blazing Saddles now.
No.
You shouldn't have made it then.
No.
It was hilarious. Are we now incorrect for saying it was funny back then?
No.
You guys seem pretty cautious.
I don't think we should be talking about this.
Why? Excuse me while I whip this out.
So welcome to Multiplaying 108. On the show tonight, we have your regular co-hosts, Jason.
Yeah, you do. Hi.
And Steve.
That's me.
And I'm Shannon. And Jason, what are you drinking tonight?
Bud Light. That's a 25-ounce can. Get an extra ounce for free.
There you go.
I'm all about value.
Steve, what do you have tonight?
I thought Big Flats was all about value.
They don't. I can't find that anymore.
No.
My ass can't take that anymore.
We've covered that like repeatedly,
I
how
know.
it's not available.
It's just-
Like on multiple shows, but you're always astonished that it's still not available.
Because I'd forget about it. He's my outlet to cheap beer because I don't drink beer at all. But what I do drink tonight is Di Serono, as typical.
Nice.
Are you at the end of the bottle?
I have like probably one more drink out of it after this. So
That's like the perfect amount.
the one more drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't need more than that.
No. That's why I like this
That's
stuff.
a good podcast amount. Yeah.
It is. I have one drink of it, and I'm good.
In the fall, you came up to visit, and I thought, wow, what a lightweight, because he just has like the one drink, and like you're already tipsy and stuff. But it's when you have one drink, you do fill it. You're pretty generous with the portion, but then you told me like the proof on that, and I was like, holy molasses! I had no idea it was that strong.
No.
So yeah,
And it doesn't taste like it's that strong, so you can. keep
No, it's
drinking
like
and drinking.
candy.
It's good stuff.
What about you, Shan?
Yeah.
I have wine. I have a Shiraz, a yellowtail Shiraz. Every wine connoisseur out there is probably like cringing, but I don't care. I like it. It's no Big Flats. It's like the Big Flats of wine.
No, Bud Light I'm drinking. It's a macro brew. So, it's okay.
But are you hipsterly drinking it ironically? Because that's okay.
No.
You gotta get the PBR.
I enjoy nice craft brew and garbage. Not ironically. So you don't have to agree so hard.
Oh well, no. I'm just but I do agree because like when I've been up there and we go out, you get some pretty fancy ass shit, and then when we go back to the house, you eat cheap shit.
I enjoy it all for different reasons. I mean, like I know what I'm doing, and I'm not one of those people who are only one or the other. I don't discriminate. I'm not a classist with beer.
Well, that's good.
I'm the real hero.
We're a classist with video games, though, but not really. No, we play shit too.
Oh. Well, before we get into talking about some games, I kind of wanted to talk about a few updates we had this week. And Well, one thing is we started podcasting again. People started to notice that because we actually hit iTunes again.
Yeah.
Starting last night around 11 p.m. it hit iTunes. So that was nice. Libsyn was awesome enough to contact iTunes on our behalf because it was one of those situations where if you remain subscribed to our podcast for the 8-month hiatus that we went on, then you were okay. You were receiving the Multiplaying episodes. But if you didn't, you weren't able to resub through iTunes. You could use our RSS feed or by listening to it straight from the homepage or the YouTube. And the YouTube sucks because we're not a video podcast on purpose because we've tried, just for a side note here, we've tried multiple times to do the live podcasting and live stream it and have us do the show. But the problem is, like, none of us really want to be on camera while we talk about this stuff is one problem. And the other problem is it's kind of boring because even for video, you're still just sitting there staring at us while we're talking to each other.
Yeah.
And then, which I just don't think is very good video either. And then, excuse me, I'm not going to sit there and edit in like all the video clips of the games we're talking about because that would just take a ridiculous amount of time.
We got lives.
No, but I still have better things to do than that.
Right.
And the other issue I have with that is it's much more difficult to edit out all of our little blunders. Believe it or not, there is some editing. This is the good stuff.
What?
But it's so much harder to edit it out. And if we're doing like a live stream, it would just be choppy as all get out, trying to cut out bits and pieces. There's been times where, Jason's like, oh, okay, cut that out. And it's like, we're streaming live. I can't cut that out. There are people There are people in the chat room right now.
Yeah.
We can never ever cut that out. It happened. So we're not good live. We're just if you ever want to be a part of a live show, you have to be a guest on the show. Is pretty much the only way you get that. And then people are much more understanding of my random giggling because they realize I'm usually laughing in response to something we cut.
Absolutely.
So anyway, at up until just yesterday, you had to wait to get into iTunes, but now it updated. I contacted Libsyn, and iTunes was receiving our updates because obviously people who are still subscribed were getting it, but we were dropped from the iTunes store because we had been gone for so long. So that means any new or returning listeners couldn't get the show through iTunes. But iTunes has this bug, and I don't know if it's a bug or if they just don't care, but you cannot resubmit a podcast once it's already been submitted.
Oh.
So when I tried to put my, our URL in there, we'd get this error saying this podcast RSS feed has already been submitted, and then that's the end of it. It just shuts down. There's no other option. Just stops you. So the only way to resubmit to iTunes again is by changing your RSS feed, which would mean changing our podcast name. It would break all of our links, break all of our history. It would change. It would break all of our currently subscribed people. It was just like, well, I don't want to do that either. So luckily, Libsyn contacted iTunes on our behalf, and it took like no time at all, a couple days, and they got us all squared away. Libsyn people, awesome. So a few people like really appreciate today. A lot of people retweeted that we were back on iTunes and available, and a couple people noticed like we started hitting their feeds again today. Our Stitcher, I hadn't updated that either, and someone reminded me of that today, so I updated that. And so anyone following us through there started getting updates too. So. Hooray! People are listening to this. We also redid the look of the site, kind of updated the logo. It's very orange.
Mm-hmm.
I like orange, so...
It's a good look.
Thank you.
I like the font.
I like the font. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
But not cheesy fun.
Right.
The other idea we had was, back when we were Cotcast, we used to do a lot more support to other people who were also involved in sharing their gaming passion.
Yeah.
So we want to start highlighting anyone who has a blog, podcast, Twitch channel, YouTube channel, or whatever. If it's about gaming and you want to share it, we would like to highlight that with a image on our homepage. It's just a small way for us to show support for all the effort that you put into sharing your love of gaming, however you may do that.
Totally.
We have very specific things about images, the size they have to be for the site. We've got that all posted. And you can just send them to multiplaying@gmail.com. We put them up on the site for about a week, and then we'll post about it as well in the forums. It'll get tweeted out. And it'll give you a couple new people, like some people that check our forums may not be aware of your stuff, so you might get some new fans. Another thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to clicked on the one today. I haven't listened to it yet, but we linked to the Fluxtaposed podcast, and I checked out that site. I was going to download the newest episode and have a listen, but I haven't got to that yet.
Yeah, our first people to take us up on that offer is another podcast, and they talk about games and movies, and it seems like, I'm not sure, TV shows. It seems like it a little bit, and beer and randomness. So pretty much similar topic area if you like this show. So check them out. I listened to a couple episodes. They're pretty good. Let's see. What else we're going to do? Oh, we also used to do, back in our podcast days, we used to have bumpers at the beginning of our show.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those were fun, and what you do is, all you have to do is record a very short bumper, like 5 to 10 seconds max, and put it in a WAV format. It could be about your blog, your podcast, whatever you were doing, and then we plug them into our podcast. And anything longer is not going to be used because it's just going to drone on. Just keep it very simple. Something like that we used to have on our old Cotcast shows is something like this.
Hi, this is Brent Copeland.
I'm Wes Wilson.
I'm Eric Fullerton.
And I'm Spencer Williams from the Warp Podcast, and you are listening to Cotcast.
Is that actually what they call it?
Yeah, because it's Circle of Trust is their guild name.
Trust us. It's a great podcast.
Sweet bumper.
So that's kind of the idea of something you could do and send in to us, and then we could plug it into our show. We'd link you in the show notes, and once we start scheduling guests again, we could even have you on the same show, but we're not really up to that yet, are we?
Not yet.
Are we?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. No, we're not ready for that. It's a big moment, You can do one of those things, you can do all of those things, you can do none of those things, whatever you want. It's just kind of out there as an option for you. All images are subject to multiplaying approval. We reserve the right to deny anything at any time for any reason.
Our lawyers told us to put that in there.
Yep, our team of lawyers.
Yeah. My fear is like someone's just going to send me a huge dick pic and be like, that's my image.
Why haven't I seen my penis on your podcast yet? On your homepage?
Might not have room to put it on there.
Or someone's going to send me like, a very appropriate image, but it's going to link to something like where they're selling, I don't know, like drugs to infants or something. And I'm going to be like, no, we're not going to just highlight anything you send me.
What kind of drugs?
So, I don't know.
What kind of infants?
Yeah, what we talking about?
So, those are the changes we did on Multiplaying this week, and I think they've been kind of nice little refreshes back to our roots type of thing.
Yeah, because we used to do a lot of, like, when we had more of the blogging going on the site, before a lot of us kind of found Twitter and found that as a easier outlet for our busy lives. We did a lot of linking to other blogs and kind of trying to support people in that way and getting some extra readership out there. So this is hopefully the wave of the future as we've kind of restarted this whole podcast deal.
Remember, like, pre-Twitter, we lived on that forum.
Yeah.
We posted everything we found to that forum because there was no Twitter.
Well, there was Twitter, but I think a lot of us just hadn't really latched onto it.
We were so young.
Mm-hmm. I had like 5 more hairs.
Yeah. Isn't that sad every time we say we're so young, you immediately go to how much hair you have?
Yeah, you do.
That's
you
my, like...
do.
That's what I do, too. I think about how much hair you have.
Because that's my, like... it's a, like a... follicle.
It's a barometer.
It's a follicle sundial.
Yeah.
It's just always fading away.
Yeah, it's basically a time capsule.
Mm-hmm.
It's a living time capsule on your head.
Thanks. Yep, that's what it is.
Ha, good time. So what else we got?
Let me see. I did want to
No shower caps.
Aww.
No.
That's a, yeah.
It's
that
deep,
goes back.
Deep cut
It's a
just for
callback.
Jason.
Yeah. It's a Florida callback.
Yeah. Still got that picture somewhere?
Yeah.
One thing that was kind of big news this week, if you're into MMO news and blogging and community and all that, it was kind of obvious. Massively is gone. But it's back!
Yeah.
So, that all happened this week.
Hold on, everybody.
So, Yeah, they had they had an issue joystick and a lot of other like blogging type of it was like almost like professional blogging journalism type of stuff. Is how you would say it.
Especially on the Massively side, they kind of considered themselves more of bloggers. The joystick, I don't know. I think a lot of them may lean more towards journalists, but.
And the WoW Insider, I never read WoW Insider because I've never been big into WoW. So
I never really read any of them, so I guess it's partly my fault. Sorry, guys.
No, well, the issue was AOL was like the big head honcho of all this and kind of the funding of all of this, and they decided to they don't want to be in this business anymore where they're doing this. So they kept like 2 of their sites, like Engadget and something else. And they kept a lot of the names, like they kept the joystick name and they kept like some other names. Yeah. And so Massively and all the people that worked at Massively had to kind of rally, and they totally did. They got new sites up with Twitters and Facebooks and Patreon accounts for the new WoW Insider is called Blizzard Watch. That's already got a site going, articles going, and they have a Patreon that's funding them. And then the new Massively is called Massively Overpowered, and that's got a Kickstarter going. It's been less than 24 hours. They've got $30,000 of their $50,000 goal already. They have 28 days left to get the rest.
I think they'll get it.
Yeah, I think they might nail that. And good for them. I mean, you have this great group of people who are really passionate about MMOs who put quite a bit of work into constantly providing news and information and to everybody, and it's not often that stuff's appreciated.
So yeah, good luck to them.
Yeah, seems like the really, really smart thing was they got this crushing news, and then they handled it well, rallied, and got a new plan in place the minute it went down.
Yeah,
and
to kind of capitalize on the.
They were quick moving.
Yeah, they had to hit it hard and quick in order to really make this happen, because it's not easy to just start over. The other crazy thing that happened in the MMO world is SOE does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal. It is now Daybreak Game Company. And
it's fucking weird.
So weird, right?
Yeah, like the first thing I thought was it seems like the amount of games that the SOE handled in different properties, well, I guess the only real one besides that was outside of Sony was DCUO, but it seemed like a lot of moving parts, and to give up the IP for DCUO and other things, it seems really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's the only DC property that Sony had rights to, right?
I wouldn't know for sure, but I wouldn't doubt that was all they had.
But just to think of like, okay, so this exists on PlayStation, PlanetSide's coming to PlayStation. Just it seems like a really weird thing to give up.
Yeah, because who had the oh shoot, what's it called? That DC Universe fighter, Injustice. Who did that?
Oh, that was Warner Brothers.
Was that Warner Brothers? Okay.
Yeah, which I mean, Warner Brothers owns DC.
Oh yeah, duh.
So, I mean, I guess that was kind of more of a weird arrangement that they gave that to Sony to develop. But I mean, that right there, that kind of, to me, is weird that they can sell SOE when Sony probably had a contract with Warner Brothers to make that. And it just seems like a really weird arrangement to be able to sell everything off. Mm-hmm. I was surprised that went to Daybreak. And didn't kind of remain just a Sony maintained thing,
right?
Contractual stuff.
This studio is going to stay Sony, but it's going to go under this Sony studio.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
And especially since that's kind of like an investment firm. It's not a gaming company. You got to really think what the hell's going to happen to these games in the next year.
But this is from Reddit, so it's either absolutely true or absolutely garbage.
Speculation.
Yeah.
Irresponsible speculation. I like it.
That's what we're going. That's how I like to do it. There is a post by a random person on Reddit, so gospel, right? It says, just so you guys know, one of the Columbus Nova's heads, Jason Epstein, is the guy that personally bought
Harmonix.
Sorry, I'm an idiot. Back from Viacom, allowing them to become an independent dev studio again.
Right.
So they're saying that, so, that guy's hint is that Columbus Novus does have an interest in...
Could be true, yeah.
Yeah, keeping a gaming company together. It's just crazy. They just came out with H1Z1, well, actually, it's not even out. It's in alpha.
Yeah, but it went to #1 on Steam best-selling.
Immediately.
That's such a weird thing that they sold it right after this. Okay, it went to #1 on Steam, but was it not what they were hoping, or was this in negotiations before this? That even came out.
But it went to #1 on Steam for a as a pre-release item. For a game that's going to be completely free, I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm guessing that this has been in the works before that. I mean, they announced it as official. These things take a long time to.
Not only could it have been in the works, they could have looked at H1Z1 and given a lot of people's attitudes towards zombie games and the like. They could have looked at that and said, "This thing's not going to work out anyways. We're not going to hold on to this just because of this potential for this game to do well."
Yeah, or it could have been the opposite. They could have been negotiating, and then it went on Steam to #1, and that kind of drove up the price a little bit. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I tend to think that this was probably in the works long before H1Z1 hit early access.
Yeah,
and they probably already had a deal worked out. But Smedley's going with them. We did see some kind of anecdotal stuff on Twitter about people saying, "Well, I just got laid off from SOE."
Really?
Yeah, that started hitting, and I started to be like, "Oh, this is going down. Everything's done, And I'm kind of looking forward to EQ Next, but I don't know what that's gonna be like.
There was never anything that came out that I'm guessing, right? That kind of said the financial state of what Landmark, how it sold, where it was, right?
Well, that's a free game,
right? But they've been selling it,
early release. Yeah, you had to buy into.
I mean, I never saw anything kind of saying if they were happy or what it sold, or I was very disappointed with it. I know some people really liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't what I wanted in that type of game, but the tools worked wonderfully. It was a beautiful game. It just wasn't what I really want.
I was interested in EQ Next.
EQ Next seemed much more interesting to me. But
it's going to be interesting a year from now to kind of see where the hell these games are. What are they going to bring back free roams? Because I hope so.
They have such a huge catalog of games that
it's a lot of games that they've run.
Yeah.
And I really like PlanetSide too.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and it's supposed to be coming into beta for PS4 soon.
Yeah. And Smedley said that he can't wait to bring games to Xbox, so I assume PlanetSide seems like the perfect game to bring to Xbox.
One thing I really respect about their company, though, is they have such a no questions asked thing about, if you were unhappy with Landmark and you were like, nope, not what I wanted, they would give you your money back.
Right.
Yeah. They had a really cool sub model. Where
everything was
everything
very
for
open.
$15.
Yep. So as a company, they do some very great things.
Yeah, I thought for the most part they had a lot of criticism about their games, but they were communicating with the community. Smedley is on Twitter, and
you always say he's a dangerously
insane human being,
because he talks to the community like he's a person. He's not like he's in charge of a gaming company, and and
maybe
he's
representing. Saying these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says them from his own. It seems like, I don't know him or anything like that, but it seems like he's saying it from his own personal perspective and not taking into consideration what a marketing team would filter someone through. And I love that about him.
We should get him on the podcast.
Mark from right behind him. Mark from marketing is freaking out.
Yeah,
that's a Christian Spicer.
He'll never know.
Yeah, I know. I'll tweet at him. He'll know.
Aww.
Should we move on to personal gaming accounts?
Yeah, sure.
For the week a little bit, because
out of the news and into the fire.
Yeah, all that junk. Guild Wars 2. Everyone, I don't know if you've heard, everyone's going back to Guild Wars 2 now. That's what everyone's doing.
It's a hot thing.
It's so hot right now.
After our last podcast,
next month it'll be Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, it will. It totally will. I have put a warning into Hardways already. He asked if we were just going to stay with Guild Wars 2 a while. I'm like, well, Elder Scrolls goes free to play in March. So, but anyway, free to play for us, purchase to play if you haven't bought it before. But anyway, for Guild Wars 2, if you listen to Multiplaying 107, which you totally should have because it was really good comeback episode for us, we were talking about the very next morning they were doing this big announcement. Oh my god, what's it going to be? Well, it was like we thought, like everyone thought, it was an announcement for...
We called it.
We called it first.
The only ones on the internet calling it.
They're doing an expansion. So Guild Wars 2, if you already owned it, you just log in. There's no sub to Guild Wars 2. And it had also been on sale recently for $10.
Yeah, the weekend of PAX when they made that announcement, they did it half off.
So worth it. And you know how stupid we are? We
What?
should have bought it for our son.
You should have.
We didn't. We
With
didn't.
no sub, he would have, yeah.
We are so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, we're
It's
so
only
stupid.
$20 now. I mean,
I guess, but it's just the idea.
but it
We
was
should've done
10.
Is that the regular
Yeah.
sale price now, $20?
I think it's been 20 for a while. Yeah.
Oh,
it.
it's not. Okay.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's just the idea we missed the sale. You know, like, shh, we're so stupid. I've had so much fun this week. I've logged in, and you guys were kind of just following me around. I finished up a completion, and I'm starting on my third level 80. She's not 80 yet. She's 48 now. But she's an armsman, Asura, and I'm hoping she's my... Isn't that what they're called?
Warrior.
Is it just warrior?
Yeah.
Well,
You're
whatever.
thinking of DAOC.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, I am thinking of DOC. Anyway, I'm starting
Using
my
that
armsman.
pole arm?
Yeah, I wish. Oh, I love pole
So
arms.
fucking hot.
Well, that's what people were pissed. Or,
What?
well, mildly pissed probably. Because in the video for the Heart of Thorns expansion, Ritlock comes back and he's wielding something that looks like a pole arm.
Yeah.
And I guess they'd even said like afterwards that like when they were talking to their video people or whoever put the video together and saw it, they were like, you know that people are going to get like riled up because they're going to think that that's a pole arm even though it's not.
Yeah.
They kind of confirmed in that way that yeah, it's not a pole arm.
I just played that episode today where because I haven't finished all of season 2 where Ritlock jumps in the thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great boss fight.
I think he's going in to find out why the Super Adventure box is not open yet.
Yeah. Get his sword and then figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was a ton of fun playing this week. That game is so dynamic, kind of compared to other stuff out there, that we just kind of, and you had posted about Slurms, just the unique experience that we had.
Yeah.
Just running around and we just kind of fell into this thing that was a great story for the time that we played.
Yeah, and it was weird because like I said on the little thing I wrote up on the forums, I'd never seen that in the game before because like there's a lot of dynamic events in the game, but in the one that we were at, I can't remember what zone we were even in, but there was one where the Harathi centaurs were attacking a small like human keep. And we got the little flag, hey, go defend this keep. I was like, okay. And most of the events like that in the game, you can totally just keep them at bay and,
Yeah.
You've succeeded the event.
You get like 2 or 3 people there, you're fine.
I don't remember ever seeing this happen, and maybe that is something unique to that event, that, yeah, they always get it, and there's nothing you can do about it, and I've just never played that event. But, yeah, totally, it just became overwhelming odds.
And it wasn't just us there. Like, some other people had kind of wandered into it.
Yeah,
we all got overrun.
There was a handful of other people, and one guy, I think, when I had died, like the second time, or went down, I wasn't dead yet, but when I had gone down, I was waiting there, and some guy was about to run in. I was like, I would go in there. I think I typed to him, and he went around the corner, and I think he typed back, holy crap, that's a lot of centaurs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was just a ridiculous amount. And like I'm 80, and I think were you playing your 80?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
we were scaled to whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, we were still scaled down to the level, and there was other people that were obviously level 80. So I mean, they were experienced enough people, and Shannon's even experienced enough because you've got 80s. You know what the hell you're doing. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
there was nothing we could do.
yeah, it was just absolutely overwhelming odds, but it was kind of fun to try to combat that.
Yeah, but then it was a nice thing after where we kind of got revenge.
Yeah.
Somewhat. It was
Everybody
really
kind of
cool.
regrouped after they took
Yeah.
it, and then we charged back in and took it over.
Yeah, it was really satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like like Elder Scrolls is coming out, for free, and people are going to flock to that. But I've always kind of played Guild Wars 2 off and on, and I think with the expansion coming, I know some people, like Bill Murphy, I saw in MMORPG, is kind of estimating it's going to be here maybe summer. Like they have given no indication of when it's coming. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are, but some people in the gaming press don't think it's really that far away.
I think given the way that they've been doing so many updates with story, and then that there's not been an update with the story for a while now, since the cliffhanger, and they've not really announced that they're doing anything. I think there was some speculation based on stuff that people saw in the today's actually just recorded earlier.
Yeah, they did a Twitch stream.
They did a Twitch stream, and there was a flag up in the corner of the developer's map saying something about a festival of the ram. So like it's the year of the ram in the Chinese calendar, I think. So there's speculation because of that there's going to be an event probably later on this month for kind of like they did the year the Year of the Dragon or whatever. So basically like a Chinese calendar sort of thing. They'll probably bring back a lot of the stuff that they did before, and as an interim thing. So maybe between that and like one thing I posted on Reddit, just in a comment, was like it would be a really good thing to bring back like the Super Adventure box, like as a even just bringing back the same stuff, just something that people have wanted to get back into to do in the interim. I don't know if they're going to do that or not, but yeah, I would say because they left everything off on a cliffhanger, and this stuff is picking up. They even said the expansion is picking up from the story.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think that it's that far away, but they did say that they're going to let people play some of the Heart of Thorns, Game of Thrones, some of the Heart of Thorns stuff at PAX East, which is in March. So I'm assuming it's after that.
Okay, and I wonder if they're gonna do something crazy. Like, do you remember in Guild Wars 1 with the expansions coming out that they would do a weekend like crazy before it actually released, saying, "Hey, you can play the new expansion this weekend. Like everyone can play."
I don't think I was ever that on top of expansions when during Guild Wars 1. I would always get the expansions, but it would always typically be like a month after they came out.
I could be wrong, but I think I remember at least with a couple of them doing something like that, like 4 months before it came out. Mm-hmm. You can play a whole weekend of. It might have been some more PvP focused stuff, but like the new stuff.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Shannon?
I was just going to agree with you that I had nothing really. I was going to agree with you that I kind of got them like as soon as it was released. Jason would usually just buy my copy and be like, here, there's a new Guild. I'm like, shut up! Yay! Yeah, and I would always go back to Guild Wars 1 because it's like, well, it's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
So one cool thing too with the sale price though being at $10, we've got some people who are totally new to Guild Wars 2 playing. Some of you know Aruth. We've mentioned him from our DAOC days, and he's grilled cheese and random numbers on on Twitter.
Whatever damn numbers are. Grilled cheese 28.
Grilled cheese 28 on Twitter. His wife just picked it up, and she's level 10 and loving it. And I'm not sure that she's ever. I've never played an MMO with her before, so that's kind of cool that she's getting into MMOing, and. Yeah, but Hardways was asking me, like I said, like, so are they going to stick with this? I go, no, you bought it. Like, Slurms is going to bail on it in like 20 minutes now.
Well, but to my credit, of all the video games, or of all the MMOs that I play.
I'm totally kidding.
I know.
Guild Wars 2 captured our hearts. We had a whole podcast just about that. It was the only game, aside from Warhammer, that we made a whole podcast for, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So... yeah, we love Guild Wars 2. We always kind of have that in the background. But the one thing, I kind of want to wait for Jason to come back now because he left. He didn't say anything, but he left.
He's sleeping.
So, Yeah, I guess I can kind of briefly cover my thing. I made 65 golden dies because when I came back to the game...
Oh, it's been that long since...
It's been that long.
Okay.
Like, back when I played before, you had to unlock dice on each individual character, and
Yep.
I was obsessed with having all the colors open, so I had lots and lots of dice. So I made 65 gold just selling back the dice. My inventories were full on
Damn.
every character, and I have all my character slots purchased. Like, I have max character slots, and all of them are full of characters. So, I then, like, the next day, like, not the next day, but the next time I logged in to do inventory management, you told me about mini pets and how now they are account bound.
Yep.
And it used to be you had to have the mini pet, and you had to put it in your inventory slot, and then you had to click it and all this stuff. It was really just, like, not worth having a mini pet. Well, now it's, like, basically like you go into your hero window, you know, to hit H, and then you go down to the miniatures tab, and you can put, if you've unlocked it, you can just go ahead and put it in your little icon there, and it's just like a wardrobe skin piece that, and this little miniature follows you around. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Takes up no inventory space. So I figured out that I did not have enough mini pets. So I immediately spent 65 golden mini pets.
Jesus.
And I went through all of my inventory of all of my characters and I have the Santa golem. Like, you know, that was like a big deal when the first Christmas event came around and they had little Santa golems.
Yeah.
Not the golems. Not a golem. The little chubby manatee looking guys. What are those called?
Oh, now you're making me blank.
Everyone loves them.
Quaggan?
Quaggan! I have the Santa Quaggan. That's what it is.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and so I unlocked that. I had a couple, like, little holiday pets, ghosts and goblins and spiders and stuff too. So I unlocked all that stuff. I bought the goat.
Did you get the plastic spider?
I have some sort of Halloween spider. I'm not sure.
That might be
it's
the
a plastic
plastic
one.
spider.
But you know what I don't have? I want really bad. I want the piglet.
Yeah, I know you said
there's
you
a
wanted
baby piglet. Yeah, and apparently that was a temporary purchase item that is not available anymore.
Yeah.
Very sad about that.
I like my robot gatherers.
Yeah, I have some sort of golem, but I'm not sure what kind.
The gathering stuff's pretty cool. The only gathering tool...
Oh, I'm
what?
sorry, gathering tool. I thought we were talking about mini.
Oh, we
talking
were.
About mini pet.
He
Okay,
chimed in
No,
about
I
his
jumped
gathering
to
tool.
that.
He switched. I got you.
Sweet.
That goes into a whole nother inventory issue I had, but
What's that?
well,
The gathering tools?
yeah. When I left, I had logged in briefly when they released the unlimited gathering tools, and bought them real quick because I had Jason and I used to buy gems for each other all the time, and so I had tons of gems on my account, and so I just went in and bought them. But then I never actually applied them to a character because even though I wanted them, I couldn't figure out which character I wanted them bound to because when they first released them, they were character bound.
Oh, right.
So they're just sitting in my bank because I never could make the call on like which character to link them to. So the result of that is every character I had tons of gathering tools still on them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So what I did last night was my final inventory piece. I cleared all of that off, put them all in the bank, and then I put all of the harvesting tools that I have remaining on one character. That's the little Asura I'm running now, and I'm going to use all of those up.
Cool.
And yeah, and hopefully I'll make my 65 gold back because of harvesting. So
You could.
now that he's back, though, I did want to cover the new expansion stuff. Everyone's like super, super excited for this, you know, horizontal type of leveling. It's not
vertical.
like it's not a vertical leveling system. They want to go into this mastery system, and they're all excited. And all I can keep thinking of is how excited we were all so excited when we heard about this, when Trials of Atlantis was going to do this, and how it was so genius, and how we wanted this, and we begged for it, and then we got it, and and then we cried because it was Trials of Atlantis, and it all sucked.
But was it the masteries that sucked, or was it the artifacts that sucked? Because I remember that
it was the artifacts.
It was the artifacts.
Sucked.
The artifacts sucked, but that all has me gun shy. Like we asked for
sure.
it.
Yeah, you know what? When I watched the Guild Wars 2 presentation where they said that, I just kind of nodded my head. That wasn't what I was excited for. Like, this could be cool, this could not. I I so far, Guild Wars ArenaNet has not shown me any reason to doubt their leveling sensibilities.
I'll agree
But
with
neither
that.
did Mythic.
No, yeah, you're absolutely
that's true.
correct.
Previous to
But
that, Darkness Falls.
I
was
really like what they
amazing.
did with Guild Wars expansion with the leveling, which they didn't really raise a level cap. It was just kind of different. So they bought some more credibility than Mythic did.
I think that the one thing I will say that I think ArenaNet is potentially not going to fuck it up. I mean, there's always the potential that they could.
Yeah.
But I think that what's kind of telling to me that they're not is how absolutely adamant they are that anything that you've done to this point isn't going to be for naught.
Yeah.
They want anybody that's 80 right now to still be just as relevant when this stuff comes out. Now, I have a little bit of doubt because they're adding all this other progression to it, but I kind of at the same time feel like it's going to be more akin to, like, this is going to be a complete apples to oranges, but kind of more akin to like Team Fortress 2, that they added so many different weapons to the game, yet you can still use the basic weapons from the game and be just as relevant.
Yeah, and when they showed the Necro with the Great Sword, that kind of made me think, okay, they're going to go more about flexibility than effectiveness, that getting better at something than anybody else.
Yep. I hope.
But honestly, to me, that the mastery is something that I hope works out, but is not why I'm excited about the expansion.
It's the dinosaurs, right?
Oh.
Fuck yeah!
They just always did a really good job with their expansions in Guild Wars, so like Jason said, they earned a lot of faith there. So, Jason, did you see the new class? Their ability can harvest the mist.
Yeah, I want that mist.
You know, all I could think of.
What?
Looks like someone got caught out
in the drizzle.
It's an Aqua Teen Hunger
Master
Force.
Shake fans out there. Where he bought his business, he made a superhero, and then he bought business cards, and he got mad because he couldn't read it, but he had ordered black on black because he thought that was the coolest. It was black font on black cards.
Very nice.
Didn't ask if you could read it, sir. Like he yelled to the guy who made it.
But yeah.
I can't wait to play it as the drizzle.
The drizzle! Our weekly WoW group died. So.
Yeah. It's Slurm's fault.
It's Slurm's fault.
Oh, fuck you guys.
He made it technically less than a week, but yeah.
Yeah, like the first day he was 45 minutes late, and I don't think he was ever more on time than that, so.
No, I only played it one other time and he was late, so it's
like
less than one.
I was on time for the one.
I don't think you were.
I think I was.
No.
I think you have a selective memory.
Yeah, I don't think you were. I think we still were waiting a little bit.
I tanked that one. I remember tanking.
Yeah, you tanked the last 30 minutes. Because at 9:30 you tanked it.
the one that I was super late on.
No, Hardways is the tank.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, you had to respec. We had to wait for your ass.
Oh, that's right.
Oh man.
I was the
Good
sub
times.
tank or whatever the hell you call it.
Well, we realized if we were only logging in just to the weekly group. The weekly group, we were having a lot of fun and stuff, but I can't really justify spending $15 a month for,
Between the two of us, $30.
Yeah, and then our kid, we can't have it without him having his, and so it's a little more than that. It's
Wish
just
there
like,
was
forget
a
this.
fish race in the game, then I could have been the fish tank.
So there's rumors about the new expansion already.
God damn it.
I know. And am I the only one that it's too soon? Like, I don't care. Like, it's way too soon.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not going to come out for at least another year.
No, they're
We're
saying...
still working on another expansion.
Yeah,
No.
Blizzard has
You
said
guys
they're speeding up the development.
Yes, and it's coming out a year after the last one, so it'll be November.
They're still going to get money.
Are they usually 2 years apart?
They typically are too.
And they promised that this one would be a year apart, and they've already said, they announced this week, that they already have all the bullet points, basically, all the the fundamentals of the next expansion are done.
That's Activision pushing them. I bet it does not come out next year.
This expansion's a direct sequel to the last
But I
expansion.
don't want it. But the thing is, like, I don't want it right now. Like, God, I don't even want to think about it. Because I'm just getting out of it.
Warlords of Draenor 2.
I don't know. It just seems way...
It's going to be interesting where they go next
Money
because they, from the kind of just anecdotally looking at it, they got a lot of goodwill with this expansion.
Yeah.
They had a lot of people come back.
More than ever, I think.
Yeah.
Based on no numbers and no knowledge
Yeah,
of facts,
just anecdotally looking
I
at it.
think this was, the one most people got excited about.
I sure liked it a lot more than previous expansions.
Yeah, no, I got 2 months out of play, and whatever. That was fun to me. That was the most fun I had in World of Warcraft since launch.
Same here.
Probably. But
fucking garrisons, man.
Yeah, those were
no,
awesome.
I didn't like garrisons. I'm the only person
didn't?
who knows dumb.
What?
It was maintenance on a little home base that meant nothing. It's like...
I figured that would be perfect for you.
No, because it's single player. It had nothing to do with multiplayer or anything. It was just building a little house. It's like WildStar housing. No, thank you.
That's true.
Like, okay, I can
Be cool if they would
build
have
a
put
little
like
house.
Clash of Clans style, like everybody builds towards something.
And yeah,
in your guild.
You can invite people and whatever, but it's not the same as having like a real dynamic world that interacts. But anyway,
They did a pretty good job with it, though.
other people loved it and it went over really well, so that's good.
But yeah, I'll be interested to see what they do with the next one. Because if it comes out in a year, is it going to be kind of as big of a step as this was, or is it just going to be padding on top? And
That's what I'm saying. It seems too soon. Like
No,
they
I
don't have
agree.
the build up.
Yeah,
But
I mean they're not hurting for money, so.
Yeah. Well, moving on from that, Jason, you bought me a game. What's it called?
Oh, Life is Strange.
Buy her a lot of games.
What is this game like, and what is it about?
It's basically a teenage high school story about this girl who's at a art school, and you're kind of living her life. You're going through, and she's trying to get a scholarship and make it at this school that she doesn't really belong at. Like, she's not rich. It's kind of this hoity-toity art school. And what's really interesting to me is that the writing seems really good, especially for a video game. It doesn't seem super cheesy. You're playing the narrative of this, I think 17-year-old girl. She could be 16, I don't know. But you go through this whole introduction of a class, and you're trying to get the scholarship, and you go in this bathroom, and you're kind of like trying to get a picture for your art scholarship, and you're in a corner of the bathroom, and this guy and this girl come in, and they're bitching at each other about drugs, and he's like a rich family, and he pulls out a gun and shoots her. And you kind of step out, and you realize you have the ability to rewind time. So it takes you back to where you were in the class before the bathroom. And this is spoilers for the very beginning of the game. And it kind of then you realize, what the fuck, I have this ability to rewind time. What am I going to do with it? And consequences play a big part in it. It's an episodic series, so I'm almost done with the first episode. But it's really good. It's like $5 for the first episode. It's got tons of style. It looks really good, and it's got really good writing. So that's why I bought it for you.
I do want to check it out, but it's totally not generally the type of game I would play. But what it kind of reminds me, obviously it's a little more adventurous, but I really like... I'm generally not a person who likes any single-player games. I do like multiplaying because I do like multiplayer games. But I loved Gone Home.
That's what we buy this for you, because
I love Gone Home.
Yeah.
I wish Gone Home had like part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, I love that style of game so much, and I'm not a single player gamer at all. But when you were telling me about it, it totally reminded me of like that type of game.
Yeah, it seems like a very focused, narrative-driven. I think that's like what you like. You don't want to spend a lot of time in a game that wastes your time. You want story, and I'm really liking the story in this. It's really good.
Sounds neat.
Yeah.
I'll have one of those nights where I just start
You
playing
could burn
it.
through this, in like 2 hours.
Gone Home, I burned through it in one night, because it's
And
like
this
a
is
3-hour
episode
game.
1. I think there's going to be like 3 or 4 other episodes, and it's $5 just to try the first one out. I really recommend it if you're at all interested in that type of setting and story. Really good. I was surprised by it.
Is it kind of like Wolf Among Us too?
Yeah, I mean it's basically an adventure game. It's not like it doesn't require any quick movements or anything. What I really like about it is in certain situations you can kind of like there was for example, I won't get deep into spoilers. When I left that bathroom and I kind of because you had to when you first went in there, the girl got shot, and it kind of was a tutorial to help you go back and save her. So when you left the bathroom, you ran the principal, and you had to decide whether you're going to tell him what happened or not. And you can tell him, and then your character will say, well, I can rewind time. This didn't go exactly the way I wanted. Do I want to go back and tell him, do I want to go the other way? And you can rewind it, and you can, fudge the truth to him and see how he responds. And it will give you a prompt. Before you leave this room, you can rewind it and do what you want. So you kind of get some options, like how you think this character might leave this room and whether he's going to fuck you or not. So you can kind of go back and forth. And then once you leave the room, I felt like satisfied. Okay, I looked at the pros and cons of both responses to them, and I feel comfortable doing this. And it seems like the whole overall story is really gonna have some consequences. It's not gonna go. You're gonna have really, diverse reactions or outcomes from what you choose, and it gives you the ability to kind of feel comfortable with what you are. Where Wolf Among Us, I dislike stories like that where they say, okay, you have 4 seconds to choose your response. Go.
Okay, so it is more like Gone Home, where you have unlimited time to.
Yeah.
But
explore.
before you exited the bathroom, did you try to see if you could pee enough to cause the toilet to auto flush?
You know what? I absolutely did. I kind of looked because you can interact with a lot of stuff, and I tried to interact with the toilet and all that. Yeah.
Especially with the rewind feature, I figured you just keep going back and then go out to the hallway and use the fountain.
That's the dream, isn't it?
Yep.
You guys are hilarious.
That's the dream.
So it doesn't sound like you have Life is Strange Slurms, Steve.
No, I don't. I've never even heard of it until now.
But I heard you want Darkest Dungeon.
I really want that.
You don't own it yet?
No.
It's really good.
I've not been home all night.
Okay.
I got home right before we started podcasting.
I'm gonna play the role of the person. Please tell me what Darkest Dungeon is all about. Like what kind of game is it? Is it a PC, I'm assuming?
Jason's played it.
Well, do you know? Like he plays a lot of stuff. He does. He was peeing in a toilet for 2 months. I had no idea.
In between playing games.
Yeah, like so many things happen in this house. I have no idea like it's going on. So
you don't want to know.
No, I don't. So
you don't.
Darkest Dungeon. What kind of game is it? And stuff. And why do you want it?
I want it because it looks fucking amazing. Purely like I found out about it about a week after the Kickstarter ended for it, and it's right now out there for early access.
And it's made by Clay, who have made one of the best games of all time, Mark of the Ninja.
Is that the same team?
Yes.
Holy shit, I didn't know that. That explains why I like the art style so much. But yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. Is it a max of 4 players in the party? I only know like bits about the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like max of like 4 players in a party, you go down, you're delving into a dungeon, and Jason can please correct me if I'm wrong, because I have not, like I said, I've not played it. But you are delving into a dungeon, but like instead of, it's like all turn-based combat, right?
Yes.
So it almost has like every combat scenario kind of has the appearance to me of it looks like an old like Final Fantasy style game, like you are making decisions on your combat, but on top of that they've added a lot of like psychological things for your party members that like they will be affected by the shit that they're running into. And
it saves after every action you do, so there's no ability to kind of, okay, I'm going to go in this battle, and I think I'm going to get fucked up, so I'm going to I'm gonna have some caution here and save. Like, you can't do that. After everything you do, it saves, and there are a lot of little psychological things. Like, if your player gets close to death, they, depending on their personality, they may respond by going like Slayer from Warhammer, where they're going to go fucking nuts and kill everybody until they can't, or they're going to get freaked out and have a
Scared.
have a debuff to them.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I like the addition of just the psychological side of the fact that these people are going down into a dungeon, and while they're kind of badasses, more badass than I would be going into a dungeon like that and experiencing those things, they are still affected like normal people in a way.
You have to recover them. When you go back to town, you have, depending on their personality and what you've unlocked, because every time you kind of come back, you can unlock places in your little village. You can unlock a brothel, a bar, a hospital, and depending on their personality, they may want to drink away their sorrows. They may want to go fuck away their sorrows. Like, and you have to have room to have them. Okay, you can go fuck somebody. You go drink. Whatever you got to do to get yourself in the right, state of mind to go back.
All right, you said something about brothels and fucking away your sorrows, so I think I'm just gonna buy a game right now while we're
I think you should. It's really good. It's really hard. I'm now at the point where I'm debating just kind of restarting now that I know a little bit more about the mechanics and what to upgrade right away. But I mean, it's a roguelike, so that's part of it. You're gonna have fun no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, it seems really, really cool. But I mean, the first thing that latched me onto wanting it was purely the art style. That game looks.
I saw it. I was kind of like you. I saw it, and I'm like, that looks really good. And then I saw it was by Clay, and I was like, okay, I'm buying it. I love the. I don't love all their games, as much as I like Mark of the Ninja, but I really like their art style.
Yeah, Mark of the Ninja is actually one that, after I rebuilt this PC, that was one of the first ones I loaded back up, but I still have not got back to playing it yet.
That is such a good game. And Shannon, they're the ones who made Don't Starve.
Oh, I like Don't Starve.
Yeah.
Oh, are they? God
No,
damn.
Don't Starve is probably the only one of the few single-player games that I do enjoy. But they're coming out with Don't Starve together, and I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
but I
that'd
won't
be great.
pay for early access. Oh, okay, I don't mean to change too much here, but remember...
No, we're done talking about that.
Remember last week when I was saying how, I wouldn't pay for Heroes of the Storm $40 to get in early?
Oh, yeah.
I got a beta invite last night.
Yeah.
But
Good.
I'm mad because all those times I have, failed willpower and paid for early access because, no, I'm never going to get in the beta. I'm just going to pay and get in. I will now, Now
you're thinking that
maybe I should
it will
never
happen.
pay for early access because that beta does happen sometimes. Because now I have this beta access and I didn't have to pay the $40 and I got it. But it's not a game I was anticipating.
We should all play together sometime.
I'll play with you guys if you guys initiate it, but it's not something.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to get me in. You're not going
You can set up a night specifically to do it.
No, God, I will probably go to bed early that night. You would have to get me. You would have to get me right now and be like, let's jump in after the game. Then I don't have an excuse.
Because she's never really been in that type of game. We have to.
Yeah, if you're gonna plan a MOBA night, I'm
against,
not gonna.
bots.
It doesn't matter. I still have no interest in doing any of that.
Well, then why are you wanting to play?
Okay, so what you and I have to do is we have to be like, hey, we're going to play Minecraft tonight. And then, you stupid bitch, we're going to play Heroes of the Storm.
Then she'll get super pissed.
No. Yeah, how often do I get super pissed?
That's true.
I yell at you.
No, she'll be like, okay.
But I still love you guys.
You do.
But
she does yell a lot.
I do yell a lot. I do. I listened to 106 where I'm yelling at you at the beginning because you killed me in Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, man, I was really mean to him. But, oh, well.
Thanks for bringing that up.
I still did the podcast.
It's true.
Let's see here. You played a free game called Transistor?
Yeah, only free because it's PS Plus. I had never played it. I liked Bastion.
Yeah, it's not as good as that. But I like it.
Okay. I haven't got far enough, but so far I like the combat way more.
There's nothing wrong with the game, and I was annoyed, so I take it back step. I was annoyed when reviewers or whatever would say that, because they're not really the same game. It's more of a turn-based game, and it's not fair to compare the two. I really like it.
I mean, they're very similar in ways.
In that they're isometric views.
Isometric, they have narration by some mystery voice sort of thing, even though the narration is completely handled differently. But
the setting is completely different. The combat's completely different. No, I really liked it.
Right. No, so far I'm really liking it. I haven't got a chance to play it a whole bunch, maybe half hour or 45 minutes of it at the most.
Yeah.
But of what I've played, I really, really dig that combat.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
I like that combat. I mean, it's personal preference, of course, but I like that combat, and I like that setting more than I did Bastion.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that.
So
it's really good. I don't know if it's true or not, but I kind of get the sense that they did not make merely the wave of or the splash as Bastion. So hopefully it did well for them, because that's a really talented team.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I hope that they're working on something. And I totally just bought Darkest Dungeon. So okay.
Fuck yeah! I'd like to see a Vita version of Transistor.
That would probably
seems like the best place to play it.
It would be fun to play on it, but at the same time, there's so much small text as far as like the stuff on screen when you're combating enemies to see like what amount of damage you're doing and stuff.
What do you think about, since it's more of a turn-based than Bastion? What about an iPad? Do you think that could work? Because Bastion came out on iPad.
That totally could work if you did like just point to move, and then like the abilities that you have just as big icons.
Yeah, I think I would totally play it again if it was on iPad.
That'd probably work. There was something else I was thinking of that. Oh, I was thinking like looking at Darkest Dungeon that might make a good iPad game.
I gotta think that playing it, I think that's gonna come there. It's just a matter of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't play a lot on my iPad anymore though.
I don't either. What did I buy recently? I bought Indigo Prophecy, and then as soon as I bought it, I'm like, I probably shouldn't have bought that. I liked it, but I'm probably not going to play through it again. I played just Crossy Road or something stupid on there.
Crossy Road's great.
It is, but it's stupid.
It is stupid, but I got like a pretty damn high score once, and then kind of.
You're never going to beat that, so you're never going to play it again.
It was like, what was it, 367 or something like that?
Yeah, you're not going to beat that.
I'm never going to get back up
like
there
a 180.
Yeah, I think I got past 200 a couple more times, and just like, nah, that was my highlight. I'm done.
I think the only thing I really like to play on iPad is adventure games. Like I played, the Back to the Future games on there.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other? Monkey Island, like the newer ones.
I haven't played those on there. Bet you that's good.
But yeah, like that's only Broken Age I played on there, and waiting for the second episode. Like that, I don't think I really like to play anything else besides that.
Hearthstone.
Yeah, well yeah.
Well, duh.
Well, but that's not exclusive.
True. I'd still rather play it on the PC.
Really?
I wouldn't. Yeah. I think adventure games I'd rather play on an iPad.
Oh, I thought you meant Hearthstone.
Oh, yeah, no, I'd rather play it on an iPad. What's that?
Yeah. The only reason I like playing Hearthstone on the PC is because of our gaming group using our TeamSpeak.
Or Skype.
But I mean, if I'm going to play random, I'd much rather play on my iPad. But that's not what you were talking about, so moving on. Did you guys want to wrap that up, or?
Yeah, we're done.
I don't have any dork movies to cover. Do you?
I don't. No, I've not.
I really want to see next week Kingsman.
Oh yeah.
Do you?
Good Valentine's Day.
I know some people
plans.
on Twitter and stuff saying that it looks super fucking dumb. I think that looks super fucking awesome.
I
love Matthew Vaughn.
Totally loving this idea.
Just from watching the trailers, it's one of those ones that you see it and you go, this can go fucking either way. This is either going to be the worst damn movie or the best damn movie this year. Yeah, but it's
directed by Matt Vaughn, who directed Kick-Ass. And
you got to go into it with
First
a
Class,
level of expected cheese, I would assume. You know, like
Oh, no doubt. Especially just the way,
way
that
it's done,
looks like a lot of
like,
that stuff
yeah.
is handled in the movie.
I
Yeah,
mean-
you can obviously tell that there's going to be cheese.
you gotta love it for what it is. You know.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I was thinking about it. It's been a while since there's been a movie I've actually wanted to go see opening weekend.
Yeah, Guardians
Yeah.
of the Galaxy.
That was probably the last one in August. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
And we saw that a lot.
I saw it a couple times. But yeah, I would like to go see this.
Oh, you know what? We did not podcast that through that entire time. I would like our audience to know we saw it 9 times at the theater.
Jesus Christ. I didn't even know you went that many times. I do. I think I.
I don't
kinda,
remember
like, was
Ferris
about-
being absent 9 times.
9 times.
I think I remembered hearing you guys saying you were going for like the 4th or 5th time, but I didn't know that you went after
Yeah,
that.
it got really sad. When
It
I
got
was-
ridiculous.
'cause at the movie we go to, there's a bar, and I went up, and the guy's like, "Seeing Guardians again, huh?"
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, it was just a great movie. Like, we'd be sitting here on a Sunday afternoon. We wanted to do something as a family or whatever. And Matt's
Yeah, and our
like,
son would
you know, our
wanna go
son's
see it.
10. He's the right age. He's like, I kind of want to go see Guardians. Like, well, okay. So we'd hop in the car and go see a movie. And there wasn't really any other movies that we wanted to see more than that. And so it was just kind of like this fun little thing to do. But anyway,
I think I've seen it probably 5 times since I bought it on Blu-ray, but
I don't count
Yeah,
once
I
I
don't
own it.
or not on
Yeah,
Blu-ray. I
I've
bought
seen
it
them.
digitally actually.
We have it on Amazon Video.
Yeah,
but-
same here.
Yeah. Anyway, I heard you saw some of The Flash.
Yeah.
We're switching topics to a TV show. We're not talking about
Yeah.
anything inappropriate. I guess I should clarify.
Book related.
Yeah. What did you think of it, and why did you say you missed a few things?
I obviously missed some things because it's been a while since I've been watching any. But was it last night or the night before? I can't remember. Was sitting talking with my wife about stuff and flipping through the TV, and Flash was on. Or no, not Flash. Arrow. It wasn't Flash that I saw. It was an episode of Arrow. But regardless.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but tuned in, and then there was an episode of Arrow on, so I started watching it, and Oliver wasn't there at all.
Yeah, some stuff's going on with him.
Yeah, and then what's her face was no longer Canary. The other lady was.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell's going
Yeah,
on?
you missed some stuff.
You might want to.
This guy didn't have a suit before. Now he's got a suit.
You might want to
Oh,
start
our
watching.
That
Arsenal.
guy was
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, you probably should watch
Oh
the
yeah,
show.
you should probably start at the beginning of the season.
Like, so much shit was flipped
You know,
on its head.
since
For me, like, I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
you know, we've been kind of complaining that it was a dull season, but getting that perspective, you coming in at this point, makes you realize how much stuff has.
Yeah,
happened
a lot
this
of
season.
shit's happened.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're right. It's been kind of crazy.
And I think I've only missed a handful of episodes.
No, you missed all of the season.
It's like
Oh,
it's
that's
like
probably-
trying to play
No, I thought
WoW
we
with
started
you. You miss
watching.
like everything. You're like, I did pretty good.
No, you missed. You had to have missed because the first episode of the season, the one bitch died.
Oh yeah, I totally missed
I don't
that.
like her anyway.
Oh, the chick with the
Sarah,
weird mouth?
yeah.
Sarah, I don't like Sarah.
She has some
Got a weird
pretty
mouth.
big fucking tits, though.
It's true. She did.
She had big tits. I like that.
I guess I was kind of focused on Flash. And the thing about Flash and Arrow that bothers me, and Jason he's just like, shut up when I bring it up.
No, I know. I totally acknowledge it.
It bothers me. They have these elaborate prison systems for these, super villains that they have, right? And it totally bothers me how they completely ignore due process and these people's civil rights. And they're kept in, like, complete isolation. The Flash...
Yeah, they never reference, like, how
They
do they
never
get fed,
reference
or how do they
any of
shit,
it.
or
Like,
piss.
Like, that much isolation would drive a sane person crazy. And these people are already crazy. They're not given any, like, therapy or anything like that. There's no interaction. There's no toilets in the cells. How do they feed them? I mean, on Flash alone, they're, like, kept in, like, what is it? A big exploded... some sort of chamber. What is that?
Yeah, like a collider.
Yeah, some particle accelerator
Yeah.
thing. I don't know. That they turn into cells. There's no.
Okay, but at least with that, they kind of they reference like, okay, that could be rotated, and there are people manning it. What I have a problem with Arrow is
They're on an isolated island.
it's an isolated island, and they kind of hint that Amanda Waller's crew could be manning it, but they never show they don't show any of that. So kind of as the viewer, you're like, wait, did he just leave that guy in a cell on an abandoned island to
who's feeding them? And I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's just
Weird. Comic books.
Comic book prisons, I guess. Jason's like, honey, it's a comic book prison. And I go, I know, but like Barry Allen's a police officer, and he's like totally just kidnapping these criminals from the police and ignoring like the whole.
Yeah, and they kind of throw it away with a little line like, "Oh, the police said he could stay here."
Yeah, like that's okay.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, he doesn't get to have any rights as a human being or anything, but that's all right.
But he can run fast. Fuck.
But I focus on the wrong things apparently. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch any Flash, but I am slightly tempted to go back and watch.
Were you a fan of Smallville at all?
I never saw it.
Oh, okay. Well,
This is way less
would,
cheesier than
I would
Smallville.
compare it to the cheese factor of Smallville.
It's not as cheesy as Smallville.
But the thing with Smallville, he was in high school. This guy's a grown man.
He's a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, I'm always been more of a Marvel fan, so it's harder for me to get into DC stuff. I don't.
So you're watching Agent Carter, then, right?
I should, but I then it kind of falls back to my other excuse that I don't watch a lot of TV anymore.
Okay, but Agent Carter's worth it. It's really good. It's getting even better.
Maybe is it like on anything?
Should be on demand, ABC.
Okay.
Oh yeah, watch like the first one, and I think you'll like it.
You said it like started off really, really good, right?
It never let up.
It's only like 8 episodes.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they're almost done.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, they're not going to continue it.
I think they hope to get renewed, but they said they made it as like one season. It could just be a one season thing if that's all it is.
Thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. All
right. Let's wrap this up.
I think
got
we need to
some
wrap
games
this up. We've
to
been
play.
talking quite a bit, so. Cool. See you guys next week?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. This could be a cliffhanger of season 4 now?
I don't even know if we had to count them into seasons every time. You know what? The thing is, I would take our podcast kind of like a casual blog. We do it when we can. We love doing it. We never get tired of doing it. It's just sometimes life happens, and so it gets a little sidetracked once in a while, right?
Sometimes little kids have birthday parties, and
sometimes it's
fucks everything
gaming
over.
as life allows, right, guys?
See, I should put that back in. All right, it's 10:30.
Yeah, I should probably get going to bed soon.
All right. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night. I'm an old man. I need sleep.
Well, gentlemen, no point in hanging around this dump any longer.
Wait! Where are you going? I was going to make espresso. Show's over, folks. You can't go. All the plants are going to die. Take off, eh?
Thanks for listening to Multiplaying, the companion podcast at multiplaying.net. Questions, comments, feedback, errors, etc. can be sent to multiplaying@gmail.com. We invite you to write a review on iTunes and visit our website at www.multiplaying.net.
We've made a lot of friends, shared a lot of laughs, often at the expense of others.
I think some people are going to be upset.
Let me just close this conversation by saying you are one unique individual.
Thank you and good night.